This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com.
How about this, man? You talk about two guys we've been looking at a lot this year. Arn Anderson, your TV champion, defending his TV title against Sam Houston, who just took off his Mid-Atlantic Championship belt. So champion versus champion here on TBS. This is a big-time match for the era.
Oh, yeah. Big-time match. And Arn Anderson, and actually, Sam was a good worker. And we've seen some of the stuff he could do and fast and, obviously a wrestling family. And I loved Magnum's interview. Look at Arn.
Did you see this past week? We just celebrated the 25th anniversary of Arn picking up a clean pinfall win over Hulk Hogan.
No.
It's been 25 years this past Friday since Arn beat Hogan on Nitro.
Wow.
And I say clean, but it wasn't.
Well, still.
He was a horseman. Anyway, at the time, only two guys had pinned Hogan and Flair. And that was Bob Armstrong and Antonio Inoki.
Whoa.
So at that moment, Arn became the third man to do both. Now, of course, a lot of guys have done it since.
Sure.
Brock, Rock, Hunter, on and on. But this is a pretty cool deal here to say, hey, man, only three guys have beaten Ric Flair and Hulk Hogan. Antonio Inoki, Bob Armstrong, and me. I know some of our listeners may think, oh, Inoki's a big deal, but Armstrong? Well, where Arn grew up, Bob Armstrong was Hulk Hogan.
Damn right.
And the idea that you're in that rarefied air, one of the biggest stars in the South, one of the biggest stars in Japan, and you, a 250-pound set of cultured bulk. He took great issue with me calling it country bulk. He said, I never said country bulk a day in my life. It was cultured bulk. You and Schiavone need to get that shit out of your ears.
Well, guess what?
Cultured bulk. Go back and listen.
Yeah. Well, this week when we're back together in Jacksonville, he's going to hear country bulk a lot.
There you go.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
I love ammunition against him. He certainly is. He's working slow here.
Yeah, he's taking his time. He's doing heel shit, trying to get the crowd into it.
Yeah, he really is. Country bulk.
By the way, it's funny because when we had that conversation, I said, so you're denying you said it? He said, yeah, I didn't say it. I said, are you denying your country? He's like, oh, I'm not denying I'm country. I definitely am country, but I said cultured bulk. So we got a new shirt over at boxofgimmicks.com that says country bulk, and we scratch a line through it, and it says cultured bulk.
You say it, it'll be a shirt. Oh, hell yeah.
Right. Don't forget, we got a Weasel Slapper shirt over at boxofgimmicks.com. And we've even got a Tully Blanchard Enterprises travel agency. We'll take you to Saturn or Mars or whatever he said. And everywhere else too.
That is great stuff. I really, every time I see Arn, it brings a smile to my face. Did he know that he at that time had been only one of three to pin Hogan?
No, I don't think he even knew when I showed him the other day.
Yeah.
And I said, hey man, if you still got those black and gold boots, you can probably clean up selling them on eBay right now.
And he doesn't have them, right?
And he replied, shit, I don't know where they are.
Well, you're the one that brought our attention to Nostalgia for Sale.
Yeah.
I wish I had all the old Nitro formats.
Dude, we'd be cleaning up, son.
Right. And here's the good news. Laurie Schiavone has collected each and every AEW Dynamite format I've ever done.
Dude, I knew that. And so it was funny because when we were over a couple months ago, Silva said, hey, are you saving all of your AEW? And you had a mountain of paperwork. Yep, there it is right there. He's like, 20 years from now, we're gonna he's in his back cave and he stretches his hands out like he's Al Pacino giving a speech. 20 years from now, that very pile of papers are going to pay for me a condo on the beach. Just got to keep Conrad alive 20 more years. I'm going to gift his big ass a Peloton. Maybe he'll take the hint, drop a few LB so I can get my goddamn condo.
They're now in binders.
Yeah.
Yeah, I learned my lesson on that one. And I know there's stuff in the attic. Six-man belt be damned. We know,
how it is though. Like, all of my friends in the group chat, they all have some mementos from Starrcast.
Mm-hmm.
I got nothing. I didn't keep anything.
Yeah.
It's like, what do I care? I was there.
Right. And that's the same way with me.
I say that, but you know what? Somewhere I've got a CM Punk collector cup.
Oh.
But everything else is just, I don't have it. It's gone.
Mm.
So I understand how it happens, but Bischoff and I talk about that all the time. Like, what do you wish you would have kept?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I've running him down something pretty cool that he's going to use as part of his videos sooner rather than later, hopefully before WrestleMania. But like, he's like, man, I wish I would have kept like a Nitro sign. And I'm like, yeah, you probably should have done that.
Yeah. Also, I mean, it's well known that there's a lot of stuff out there that, people who have been in the business don't even realize that's valuable to people. But
yeah,
I mean, there's some stuff in the attic. I've started the box for you, and the box doesn't have that much in it. I'm going to kind of wait until I fill it up. I found the other day, which I really can't give this away, because it's really Matt Schiavone's, and I'm sure he'd want it. I probably shouldn't even say it. I should probably go ahead and give it to you, but it's a Sting shirt that Hulk Hogan signed.
Wow.
For Matt Schiavone. I remember when he did it.
Why don't you give it to Matt Schiavone?
Next time I see him, I will, if I think about it.
That's cool, man.
Yeah. And I've got the Macho Man hat, the foam green hat.
Yeah, the giant one. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got that there somewhere. I think I may have a Hogan finger. I don't know. But there's a lot of stuff up there that just, because we got so much shit, I got to pay somebody to go up there and just drag it out for me.
Well, we got people volunteering all the time,
Yeah, but I don't want some of those people in my house.
No, I got you.
I'm kidding.
No, I get it.
I mean, who wants Dave Hancock or Pondwater Dave?
No, I didn't mean them. I mean,
okay.
People, our listen. Carl Mendick will do it tomorrow.
Okay, so who would want him in your attic?
That's a good call.
Okay. Or like
Bad Money Slim.
Oh, that'd be pretty good. Don't want Mike Kolb in my attic.
No, of course not.
Would never have Adam DeMoy in my. I could lock him in.
Travis.
Yeah, I could lock DeMoy in my attic.
It's funny because I don't think Efren wants up there. I think he's just in your closet.
There's a lot of people. So let's get a group to go to the attic.
Okay.
We'll feed them lunch. We'll feed them fried chicken like we used to do back in the day in Crockett's when we had interview time.
Tell everybody about those interview days. So you're in the back of the Crockett office. It's like a garage.
Mm-hmm.
Doing one pre-tape after another. Originally, it's all day Wednesday. Maybe at some point, it's all day Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a camera set up. There's a microphone. There's a couple lights. And then the rest is just sort of like a real garage, right? Concrete floors and nothing happening.
They had those orange and blue backgrounds, which had a soundboard in them, or I called them sonic boards.
Yeah.
That helped deaden the sound. Yeah, that was an all day thing. And they brought in fried chicken. There was this place right up the road that had fried chicken. They brought it in.
Called? Do you remember?
Well, it was Holly Farms chicken. Holly Farms and Holly Farms went on to sell, I think, to Purdue, but Holly Farms was a big chicken producer in North Wilkesboro, North Carolina. And they had fried chicken restaurants back then. And there was one, it was right near the ballpark. They always go up there and get Holly Farms chicken.
I'm looking at a picture of it now. Yeah. That's cool, man. That's old school.
Yeah, that is old school. And they sponsor a lot of NASCAR drivers too. Holly Farms was a big NASCAR sponsor.
How was it compared to like a KFC?
It was the best. It was the absolute, we loved it back then. We ate plenty of it. So yeah, it would come in and Gene Anderson would run guys down, and at first there was, I guess we could find some of those and watch them. I know there's some on YouTube. They're very hard to find. At first there was like a light stand with a piece of metal that was put on top of it, and this piece of metal was like I don't know, they had a magnet that clipped this big, long, yellow computer paper. You know, the data paper that had the holes in each side.
Yeah.
And Gene would write the card on there. He would go Friday, February 3rd, Charlotte, and he would write down a few names. And then he would say, you know, whatever the main event that I was talking about that day, and he would write down the matches. And when I first started doing it, I would not look into the camera. I would look off to the side because I was reading the stuff down. I remember one day, a bunch of guys, I was doing ring announcing somewhere, and a bunch of guys hollered at me and went, "Hey, cue card," because I was looking to the side. And then we got a teleprompter, and it was my job to put the stuff in the teleprompter for me that Gene would give me. Gene would run down, and I think I mentioned this before, Gene would run down the talent because the talent would float around the office and they would not stay put because, you know, it's a small confined place, and go in and bullshit with Dusty or politic with Dusty, talk to Jimmy, talk to David, you know, go outside. I don't know if some of them smoked, all of them dipped. And it was funny because you would hear Gene say, "All right, we got Tully, we got Arn, we got, God damn it, Ric Flair. Hang on a second. I have to run all over the fucking place for him." And we'd stop down and he'd run to get Flair. It happened all the time. But that's the way it was done, man. One after another. And Wayne in the back would have a 1-inch machine, an old 2-inch machine, and a couple of 1-inch machines. And he would have one ready, position number 1, and he would insert it in. And I would do 1, 2, 3 heel interviews. And then I would do 1, 2, 3 babyface interviews. And he had 3 tapes. They'd ship it out that day, man. And it was inserted right in. And there very rarely was a botch. We just went with it, man. I mean, it was easy. I ran down the shit, and they said their shit. And I remember,
tells me she remembers going back there with her dad as a kid,
and
he would get her a Coke, and she would just sit in a chair in the garage and wait.
Yep. And it was that garage that smartened me up. And by the way, I do want to mention this even to people that's watching on Patreon, because we do give it ad free. But coming up pretty soon is in March. We're going to have some information about the graphic novel. And
pretty excited about that.
Yeah. Go to buttsandseatscomic.com and you'll be notified when it's going to be available. So
hook the leg, and there it is. Pretty good match here with Sam Houston. And look at the finish. Sam Houston just goes flying into the ropes, gets all tangled up, and that's going to set it up. Arn Anderson's your winner, and here he is talking to Tony.
It's still yours, and I know you're probably short of breath right now. Heck of a match. I mean, the young man really gave you a tussle out there.
Very formidable opponent. Very talented. A lot of guts.
Protege of Dusty Rhodes, I might say, also.
Same style. A lot of guts, a lot of fight, a lot of heart. But the bottom line is a little bit short on talent. Now, Dusty Rhodes, Magnum TA, Rock and Roll Express, Manny Fernandez, I don't care who you are. The bottom line is, this is mine. I earned it. Jim Crockett's not going to take it. David Crockett's not going to take it. Dusty Rhodes, you want this. You got to beat me for it in less than 20 minutes.
Still the world television champion, Arn Anderson. We're coming right back.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money, it's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.